Okay, we're talking about how to replace your ceramic bearing on the Navigator Pro. So if it was getting a bit tight or there was some form of damage in here, then we suggest replacing it, and it's just going to work a whole lot more cleanly. So after each session you should definitely be giving it a good rinse with fresh water, and that will make sure that the lifetime of the bearing lasts a lot longer. So for this you're going to need your replacement bearing. You're going to need a drift punch, some multi-grips, and then this is a jig that just makes things a little bit easier. We're hoping to make this 3D file available for people who've got a 3D printer, so you can print off your own. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is run your lines out on your control bar, and then pull the landing line out until you get to the loop-to-loop connection. Now push these two away from each other, and so you can get to the loop of the flying line. Now just pull the end of the landing line through and put that aside. And we're going to get our little jig and place the QR in there with the two little ends of the pin exposed. And give that a good hard push down until it comes out. Now that pin will fall apart. So you can pull that QR off now. Bottom spinning handle will just pull off, and then the whole main shaft will pull out of the QR. We can release the QR at this stage, make it a bit easier to pull that apart. Now note, as well as the bearing comes in 3 parts. You'll also have a little low friction washer on the bottom of here. So keep that one on the end of the shaft. We're going to grab our new replacement bearing, and you'll notice there's a little notch on one side. Now that notch, we're going to make sure that sits upwards. So there's a little runner, there's our actual bearings in a housing, and that is the top one with the mark facing upwards. So now we're just going to insert that up inside the QR body again. Make sure that's all sitting nicely. And then you'll notice there's some little grooves out of the main shaft here. That's where we want the holes of the spinning handle to line up with, and our pin to go through to lock it all together. So make sure those are lined up. I'm just going to feed my flying line back through. There's a little keyway on the top of the top spinning handle. Now make sure you line that up with the bottom spinning handle so it all goes together nicely. Okay, so I'm going to look through the hole, and I can kind of spin the end of that main shaft to make sure that everything is lining up with those grooves. Pop it in my jig. Now you're going to feed this pin in through the side of the bottom spinning handle with the slot. So when it's all together, it's going to be flush with the edge. Now get that lined up. Take it out. I'm going to grab the multi-grips. Give that a squeeze. So you want to see the ends of these and the end of that part nice and flush. So at this stage, we can get the end of our flying line. I'll thread the landing line over top of there. And the swivel through the loop in the end of the flying line. Make sure there's no twists or anything before you put some load through them, and make that loop-to-loop connection as tight as possible. So grab onto the top above the red ball and pull that landing line all the way back through and up into here. Now you can just reconnect the QR, and that's your QR with a nice new ceramic bearing in there, ready to roll.